Happy Tomlin Tuesday, Steelers fans. Welcome into Steelers Talk. I'm your host, Jack Sperry, and today we're going to be talking about one revelation that we have learned in recent hours that makes Russell Wilson's performance versus the Cincinnati Bengals 100 times better. Also, we'll be talking about the latest Steelers injury updates on guys like Alex Highsmith, Calvin Austin III, Corey Trice Jr., and more. So make sure you guys stick around for those injury updates. But before we get into the content today, make sure you guys click that subscribe button. We are the fastest growing and now we are the largest Steelers news program here on YouTube. That's all because of your guys' support. So thank you guys so much for all the support you give to me, you give to Coop, and you give to this entire community. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you want free and informative Steelers content every single day. Okay, so let's talk about Russell Wilson. It was no secret that Russ was cooking on Sunday versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And to make it even better, Najee Harris came out and talked with NBC Sports, and he said that Pittsburgh's pass-heavy offense was more about Russell Wilson making checks at the line of scrimmage than it was about Arthur Smith's game plan coming into the game. According to Najee, it was a more run-heavy game plan that Arthur Smith came into the game with, but he gave Russell Wilson full freedom of the offense, lots of checks, lots of can options at the line of scrimmage, and Russell Wilson was able to decipher pre-snap what the Bengals were able to do or were doing defensively against them and really tailored this offense to an offense that fit his skill set and really did a good job exploiting what the Bengals were throwing out there schematically on defense. And I'm really loving what I'm seeing from Russell Wilson. Why this is important, guys, because it means Russell Wilson is still that super experienced elite mental processor, especially pre-snap, that he was in Seattle. And he still has that wide berth of knowledge of football and what these teams want to do. He's seen every single coverage in the book. And now Arthur Smith has really opened things up for him to allow him to really cook, to decipher, to do all these things, make checks at the line of scrimmage and get this offense into the right play. And that's why this is still good on Arthur Smith. You know, maybe Art did come in with a little bit more of a run-heavy a game plan, but Russ came into it and he's like, you know what? I have this option here to audible, to check, to can the play at the line of scrimmage. And if the Bengals want to go into two high safety shell coverages all day, yeah, I'm going to be dumping it off to short passing concepts to guys like Najee, guys like Muth, guys like Jalen Warren, playmakers that can make plays out in space. And Russell Wilson was doing such a good job of doing that on Sunday, which to me makes his performance 100 times better because he was the one that was orchestrating it. He was the one that was seeing it pre-snap, and he was the one communicating and executing the concepts that he was checking to. He was making sure everyone was on the right page, and it was just absolutely a phenomenal performance and really a vintage performance from Russell Wilson as he gets more and more comfortable here in Arthur Smith's offense here in Pittsburgh. And right now he's exceeding my expectations. If you've been watching the show for a while now, you know that I had high expectations for Russell Wilson coming into the year. When they signed him, I said he makes this team a Super Bowl contender. A lot of people called me crazy, but he's even exceeding my expectations with the way that he's able to slice and dice these defenses that he's shown over the last 2 weeks, and I expect that to continue as the season goes on. So for our pinned comment today, let me know true or false down there in the comment section. Is Russ the best part of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense right now? I think if you look at the numbers between the run game and the pass game, it's very clear that the passing game and Russell Wilson is the best part of this Steelers offense. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So in just a second here, I'm going to tell you about today's sponsor, which is Turtle Beach. While I'm talking about Turtle Beach headsets, go down there in the comment section, find that pinned comment, and give me a true or a false. Today's Steelers Talk episode is brought to you by Turtle Beach, the #1 brand in gaming headsets and accessories. You won't be hearing Santa coming down the chimney this Christmas Eve if you get Turtle Beach's new Stealth 700 gaming headset. Turtle Beach's Stealth 700 Gen 3 headset picks up so much crystal clear sound in the game that it's basically cheating. Santa could crash land right in your living room and you wouldn't even notice. There's also no better way to block out Aunt Carol asking about your love life than with the Turtle Beach game-changing superhuman hearing technology. You'll hear every explosion, every loot box, and every footstep like they're right in the room with you. Plus, their headsets are so comfortable, it's like wearing a cozy Christmas sweater for your ears. You'll forget you're even wearing them. And with 80 hours of battery life, you can game throughout Christmas without even charging once. Whether you're treating yourself or looking for that perfect gift, now's the time to snag the headset that everyone is talking about. For a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off their entire order when you use code CHAT at turtlebeach.com. That's 10% off your entire order at turtlebeach.com with promo code CHAT. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. For a limited time only, head on over to turtlebeach.com and use code CHAT for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com with promo code CHAT. Don't delay. Get the perfect Christmas gift now. Happy holidays from our friends at Turtle Beach. So now let's discuss the latest Steelers injury news and updates brought to us from head coach Mike Tomlin when he took the podium earlier today for his press conference in preparation for this Week 14 matchup this week against the Cleveland Browns. And the biggest news is that Alex Highsmith is expected to be back. Coach Tomlin told the media today that he, quote-unquote, fully expects Smitty to be on the field versus the Cleveland Steamers, and it couldn't come at a better time. Now, listen, man, I was okay with letting Smitty get back to 100%. Nick Herbig has forced a fumble in the last 3 games that he has started in Smitty's absence, but man, you add Alex Highsmith into this defense with Nick Herbig playing as well as he is, Preston Smith acclimating to this system as well as he is, and now, of course, TJ Watt, who's an absolute monster as well. This is undeniably, in my opinion, the best edge group in the National Football League. And when you account for the depth that you have, I mean, Preston Smith, in my opinion, is a starting capable player in this league, and he is your 4th edge rusher, and you've got 3, in my opinion, star quality edge rushers are heading your group there. So in my opinion, guys, it's not even close who has the best edge rusher group in the National Football League. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're not even talking about guys like Cam Hayward, who's playing first-team all-pro caliber football this year. We're not even talking about Keanu Benson, who's looking like a phenomenal young player for this defense as well. This is one of, if not the best defensive line units in the league, but there's one thing for sure. This is the best edge rusher group that this league has to offer in 2024. Now, another injury update here that's a little bit more negative is that Calvin Austin III, the wide receiver, did get injured last week against the Bengals with a concussion, and he is officially now in concussion protocol. I will say it's going to be tough for Calvin to get out of that protocol heading into this week's game against the Browns. And you look at what the Steelers have in the wide receiver room outside of CA3, and it's not all that much, right? Van Jefferson has been disappointing all season long. Mike Williams has been a big disappointment since trading for him at the deadline. Only has 1 catch. It was a big catch, but he still needs to get more acclimated here. I like what Ben Skoranek has done as a blocker, but obviously he's limited in terms of his ability as a receiver. And, with guys like Roman Wilson currently on IR and all these different things, losing Calvin Austin III for any amount of time seems like it could be big for the Steelers offense. So hopefully he can get back on the field. And if he can't, hopefully somebody, cough, cough, Mike Williams, can get it going against the Browns at home this week. Some other players that could be on the field this week, according to Mike Tomlin, Corey Trice Jr. It seems like we've been waiting for Corey Trice Jr. to return for weeks at this point. Still haven't seen him since that hamstring injury that he suffered early on in this year. He's been a full participant in practice. He just hasn't been able to get on the field. So we'll see if he's able to go this week against the Browns. And then Mon Adams, the nose tackle that injured his knee a while back, he could be available this week as well. He was a participant in practice last week as well. And now another thing I want to talk about here, guys, is after watching the film between the Steelers and the Bengals here in Week 13, something I noticed on the defensive side of the ball was that Cam Sutton has pretty much assumed the role as this team's starting slot corner. Now, Mike Tomlin did say at his press conference today they might be changing who the starting slot is depending on the matchup every week, but they wanted Cam out there because they wanted the experienced slot player versus a dynamic offense like the Cincinnati Bengals. But right now, it certainly seems like Cam Sutton, the veteran here, has assumed the starting slot cornerback role since returning from his suspension earlier this year. Let me know if you think that's a good idea down there in the comments section. Pick your starting slot cornerback if you were Mike Tomlin and you were in charge of making the decisions. Type CS for Cam Sutton if you think the veteran experience is worth it there in the slot, or would you rather go with the younger UDFA Beanie Bishop Jr. He's come up big with some big interceptions this year. Type BB if you'd rather go with Beanie. Now, before we go here, we have the Tomlinism of the day here on Tomlin Tuesday. And when Tomlin was talking about Joey Porter Jr. and how he had a bunch of penalties against T. Higgins on Sunday. He said, when we play Shaq, we're going to use our fouls, talking about how T. Higgins is a big, menacing, physical presence at wide receiver. And the way that you play him is you have to play physical back. And when you're on the road and you're playing a tough wide receiver like that, you're going to get called for some fouls. So he kind of, wiped away some of the criticisms and all these different things that we've been hearing on Joey Porter Jr. When you face a goon like T. Higgins, man, you got to play physical against him. And when you're on the road, you're going to get some cotton on the carpet. That just comes with the territory. And then the final question during the Tomlin's press conference today was, are you going to watch Hard Knocks tonight? And he just said, absolutely not, and then walked off the podium, finishing the press conference. So I don't think Mike Tomlin is going to be self-indulgent tonight when he watches the debut of HBO's Hard Knocks AFC North. That is debuting tonight, guys, on Max at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be watching that. I will probably be giving some takeaways on tomorrow's show, potentially. Maybe I'll be tweeting about it as well. You can follow me at Jack_Sperry for my instant reaction to all the Steelers clips that come out of tonight's show. But make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support and making it to the end of today's video. Tomorrow we got more Steelers content coming your way. So without further ado, guys, click that subscribe button. Until next time, here we go, Steelers.